Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me Morphsuit America, and in this video I'll be talking about the 8th year anniversary that's going on for the Japanese PSO2. The game started in 2012, now it's 2020, and this has been 8 years. And because it's an anniversary, guess what? There's a bunch of stuff going on, a bunch of events going on. You want to take full advantage of this if you are playing on the Japanese PSO2. There would be a lot of video references that I made that might go into further details about certain things that I will bring up. You will see it in the description or in the upper right hand corner. Also note that if you want to view the details with this particular event as well, you can look in the description. There will be a link to bump.org which will provide all the information. I will bring it up in a bit when I talk about certain individual rewards and why you want to do this. Before I get started though, let's go over here and talk to the quest account attendant NPC. You don't need to talk to this one in particular, but if you go over here, the first option, the limited quests up here, you would want to do this. Now, if you're still new to the game, you might need to get a couple levels to actually see this. I might be wrong. However, when it comes to this limited quest, there's 4 difficulties: hard, super hard, extra hard, ultra hard. You need to be level 85 to do ultra hard, like for main and sub. I'll emphasize this later when I talk about that quest, but if you are new to the game and you want to get right into it, you have to be level 8 and you need to complete a certain client order. I don't know what the client order is specifically, but I bet you need to talk to Coffee and do most of her stuff over here. It might be the difficulty unlock 1 you had to complete before you venture any further. If you are in the shop area, you'll notice this NPC over here. She pops up every time if there's like a big event or a seasonal event or something, and she will have like certain things. She's popping up again for the 8th year anniversary. She's gonna have some client orders, but the biggest 2 options you'll toy around with is the second one and the third one. You can't talk to her, she'll have a conversation with you. But when it comes to client orders, you'll only be able to see 2 of them at first, but once you complete these 2, you unlock the other 2, and you can see that this is all I have for now. You might get more as, this event progresses onwards, and maybe for the second half as well, but you can do them so you can get a couple badges or medals, and then also a free donut. When it comes to the anniversary shop, this is just the first half. They might refresh it, they might not, I have no clue. We'll see when the second half kicks in. There's a bunch of lobby actions you can get. You can actually change into food with this. However, I would emphasize more on deliberate unlocking. You will want to get this because this will be the necessary or the mandatory item you need so you can upgrade your Novel into a Liberate. I'll talk about that weapon in a bit, but you would want to get this first. Out of anything from this shop, get this Liberate Unlocker. You can go for these weapons, but I will have to give you a heads up and state that they do not have a max grind value of 35. There is a way to actually increase it. You will need to buy more copies of this. You will need to buy all 6 of these. There is a limit to this shop as well, so once you buy one of these items, you might not be able to buy any more of it. For example, the Liberate Unlock, there was only one of them. I already bought one of them, so now it's empty. I can't get any more copies. For these weapons, you can see that you can get up to 6. The reason being, it's because it's at 30 and you need 5 other copies to get this 2 plus 35. And then there's the lobby actions as well. There's only 1 copy of it. Make sure you get them, especially if you're trying to collect a bunch of lobby actions. And then there's these ultimate boosters, Lambda Grinders. If you don't have a lot of ultimate boosters, you could go for this instead of the weapons. It depends on, you. And then you can get some donuts as well. They can give you a small plus 50 for a good, hour. You can use that to your advantage. Your call. Now the third option is more of your information screen. This will show you the individual points. This will show you the rewards you can get. I will go over these rewards when I open up Bump. You can check it through here. You can check this thing as well. This is more towards the ship ranking though, so you will have to wait in due time. Same thing with this thing. Ship ranking, you can see that there's a date there. Make sure that you are on during those times so you can participate and help your ship out. Then you can check your information on this event by scanning this QR code. And then you can review the tutorial as well. I can't read Japanese, so I'm not going to do that. You might be saying, okay, Marv, I'm starting to spam this thing. How do I know or where do I get these rewards? So you can either check that chick out so she can tell you how many points you have, but you can also use the email system to your advantage because it will always notify you when you hit a certain benchmark, which will then allow you to get a bunch of rewards. To physically see your reward, you will actually have to go to your storage. It's not through the Visa phone. You don't see an exclamation point over there. You will see one over here. Now, it's not going to be in your basic storage, like in your premium, your basic, your PSO2 ES, your storage one. No, it's going to be in the fourth option, the collection storage. Now, there would be two types of storage, the temporary one or the system. You want to click on the system one. Don't ask me how I got some of these weapons and or units in here. I think it was because I had too much stuff in my storage. But what you want to do is go over to the last two tabs over here and you'll see your rewards. Now I have a lot more stuff in here just because I've been also doing a bunch of divide and it just accumulated over time, along with some other stuff as well, like these things. Some of it's from 2019, surprisingly. So yeah, you want to click your stuff through here. All you need to do is click on it and you can withdraw it from this storage, or you can deposit it to whatever storage you want to move it to. So if I want to, instead of having it sit there, I'll move it to the premium storage. And then I can just do this with all these items and just move these over to the material storage. Now I do have that scratch item I was talking about earlier, the A Battle Wars S ticket. Now the S stands for Star Gem. Guess what? You can use this for the Star Gem select on the scratch item. Now, this is a very powerful tool. You want to use this. You got to go to the fourth option, which is price exchange ticket. You own one. So, you can choose whatever item you want, but you can only get one of them. You could go for an outfit, you can go for an outerwear, you can go for a hair, an accessory. However, I will not go for any of these just because if I'm going to go for these particular items, I want to have it account locked. Outerwear, you don't need to really worry about it, but guess what? I'm going to go for a pose. Now, I might need to look online to see which one I would want to get. I would either want to get this one or this one, but we shall see. But once you choose something that you want to go for, then just hit the price exchange ticket. I already got this one, for example. I'm not going to go for that one. And, you know, just make sure that you don't have a copy of that in your, or you don't have it already unlocked on your character or your account. But yeah, that's how you get your items. Now I'm going to pull a bump. Once again, this will be in the description. And I'm going to go over the different stuff that you can get. I would say that your stopping point, if you don't want to do all 10,000 points, 1,700, and I'll explain why when we hit this this point level. And yeah, all this stuff I kind of mentioned. Well, this one is a bit, I don't know much about what's going on with this one. All I can guess is that if we hit a certain point number, we'll get more stuff. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, this is panel rewards. So during these dates, I guess, if we log in, we get like these sort of rewards or bonuses. I think it's more of a bonus. Yeah, this is more of a bonus. Oh yeah, this is an affix. Ooh, yeah, this is. I might not be around during that date. Fuck. So yeah, you can also check some of the information over here as well. And some of these other things. Enough of that. Let's talk about these points. So, if you get 20 points, you get a plus 100% Tri Boost times 2, Lambda Grinders times 20, Sage Crest times 10. I'll talk about why the Sage Crest is important. Lambda Grinders already made a video talking about it. There's a easier way to get a lot of them, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to get a bit more. And then the plus 100% Tri Boost. It's always good. You know, more boosters. Free boosters. So once you get 50 points, you get a plus 50% extra experience boost times 2. The EX means extra. So if you see that, that's an extra one. And when it comes to using the extra boost, pretty much if you have a regular 100% experience boost, for example, and does it have EX in its name, when you use a plus 50 EX experience boost, it will stack alongside the 100%. However, if you have another extra boost, like let's say you have an extra Tri Boost, you cannot use the extra experience boost and a Tri Boost together. You can only choose one. Pure Photons. Now, I might do a video talking about how to get Pure Photons. I think the best way to get these is through Well, in the past, I think it was Ultimate Quest, but now we got Divide Quest, and they do drop depending on the amount of points that you have, and I'll explain a bit more about Divide Quest later in a separate video. But yeah, pure photons you need for 15-star upgrades, and then you'll see times 10 Sage Crest again. If you get 100 points, plus 100% Tri Boost times 3, Plumia, Plumdos, and Plam Grimo times 20. These are materials you'll need for the 15-star upgrade, and it might be used in crafting. Once again, I'm not a crafter, I'm a fixer, so I don't know much about this, but I know these are crafting materials that you can get by desynthesizing a 15-star. Or a 14, I think it's, yeah, it should be a 15-star. So at 150 points, you get Divide Metals times 100, Lambda Grinders times 30, and a Diard. This is a crafting item. Lambda Grinders familiar. Divide Metals, once again, didn't really emphasize it much, but I will explain where you can spend these Divide Metals and etc. So, 200 points, plus 150% Tri Boost, Lambda Grinders times 30, Sage Crest times 10, and you get another Diard. At 300 points, plus 100% extra red drop rate boost, Plamdes, crafting material stuff. 400 points, plus 150% Tri Boost, Ultimate Boosters times 10, Sage Crest times 20, and Diard. You need Ultimate Boosters for your 15-star upgrades. These things don't drop like candy. There are a couple ways to get them easily though, but I'll mention that in a separate video. 500 points, you can get Ability Transfer Pass, already talked about that, upper right corner or in the description. Plus 100% extra red drop rate boost times 4, Lambda Grinders times 30. At 650 points, you get a plus 100% extra Tri Boost, Pure Photon times 30, Sage Crest times 30. 800 points, an A Battleware Exchange ticket. I'll showcase this in the video and explain why this is something you would want to go for, especially if you are trying to get certain cosmetic items from the Star Gyms or lobby action or something specific. Lambda Grinders times 50 and 1 million experience ticket times 4. At 1000 points, plus 100% extra Tri Boost. Ultimate Boosters times 20. Armor Fragments. Once again, goes hand in hand with Divide Quest, and then Bonus Key Tokyo Go. If you don't know much about bonus keys yet, I will make a video talking about it in a playlist where I power level some characters with keys, but wait in due time. So 1200 points. You get an ability transfer times pass times 3. You get a plus 100% extra red drop rate boost times 2. Lambda Grinders times 30, and then another bonus gold Tokyo key. At 1400 points, you get a weapon pass. You get plus 100% extra red drop rate boost times 2. A grain fragment. This goes once again hand in hand with Divide Quest, but this is also linked to you upgrading to a very specific 15-star weapon. And then you get a bonus key Tokyo Gold. And then once you have 1700, you get a plus 150% Tri Boost, another plus 150% Tri Boost, but an extra variant, plus 300% red drop rate boost, S, and then a bonus key Tokyo Rainbow. This is a new bonus key which gives you a lot of goodies. You would want to get this, and it gives you a decent amount of experience as well. It's going to be a lot better than the gold variant. And then after that, as you accumulate points from 2000 all the way to 10,000, you get either a bonus key, Lambda Grinders, or Sage Crest. Out of these 3 items, Sage Crest is a good thing, and along with the bonus key. Lambda Grinders not so much, and this is optional. This is on you if you want to go past this 1700. Alright, so let's go over some stuff. Let me go to the Divide Metal shop once again. I will have to make a separate video going into details about Divide Quests and also the certain 15 stars you can get from Divide Quests. But if you go over here, you talk to this NPC on the 2nd floor. You want to go to the 5th option, that's this Divide Metal Exchange. You can see that you can trade in your fragments and your Divide Metals for certain items. Now there are 15-star weapons up here, and you can get one of these every week or so. But these will demand a lot out of you in terms of materials that you need to farm. And these modules, they drop from Divide Quests, but right now they're also dropping from Limited Quests. because they have two particular bosses that actually drop these things. Or these things. I can't remember which one. But yeah, you also need grain crystals and fragments. To get some of the fragments, you need to do divide quests, but you can also trade in divide metals to get these fragments. Then when it comes to this grain crystal, yeah, I think I'm pronouncing it right. If not, then whatever. But you need to trade in 350 divide metals and 200 fragments for this particular item. I do not even have that much fragments. Maybe the divide metals, sure, but not the fragments. And then you can get some other things as well, but your main focus will most likely be on this first half. And that's pretty much it when it comes to divide metal. Once again, I'll revisit her and talk about these things again. But let's go talk to Zieg. So when you talk to Zieg, alright, so there's a couple options you want to click or toy around with when you talk to Zieg. Two of them are going to be the crest items, and then the other one's going to be a particular weapon series. So if you click on Zieg and go to limited one, if you haven't bought this out already, then you would want to do so depending on what weapon series you want. If you are to go for the liberate weapons, for example, you would want to buy this out. You need 900 sage crest though, and you can only get one of these. You can go for these two, but it's debatable. It depends on you. Once again, you can use this to get a light stream, or you can use this one to get an Atlas EX. I already made a note video talking about it up right corner in the description. I will make a updated one later. So that's an option. Second one, with the Sage Crest, you can go over here and you can select one of these 15 stars over here. Most of these 15 stars over here can help you get the next weapon series I'm going to talk about in a few seconds. However, note that these weapons are at max grind value of 30. You will need 5 other copies. So if you buy one of these, you're going to need 5 others. So you are timesing this number by 6. You're spending 1,300 Sage Crest, which is a lot. Okay, there's no limit to it too, so you're not restricted, but still, that's a lot of Sage Crest. I don't think the rewards that you get over here can accumulate up to 1,300. I might be wrong, but no, I don't think it does accumulate up to 1,300. So bit debatable. There is a way around it. I did talk about it once again in the grind value video. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't. But that's how you can that's how you can spend your Sage Crest. The next thing I'm gonna refer to will be the no, not that. The weapon series. This will be found on all of the weapons that you can click. The sword, the gun slash, the wand, the jet boots, and all that. It's gonna be up top. The Gen Puros and the Gen Still. These will require a lot. Well, the Gen Still is straightforward, but it's going to require materials that you need from Divide Quest, but some of these materials you can farm right now in Limited Quest, or, you know, by getting these points for yourself and obtaining these free rewards since you spam Limited Quests. But yeah, you're going to need a lot of these modules. This is going to be pain in the butt, along with the Grain Crystal and then the Fragments. You can farm Divide Quests. Once again, I will have to make a video talking about it. But you need a lot of them for the first half and then like this half. This one, I will have to make a separate video going into details of how to get these particular things. But yeah, you need pure photons and ultimate boosters to at least try to get a Puros. These particular weapons, the first one's going to be a 14 star. The dim, whatever it is, dim sword, dim jet boots, dim whatever, that's a 14 star. You can actually buy it as well. And when it comes to this limited quest, it can drop from the limited quest, so you don't need to buy a copy. And, you know, try to get it at an 8 slot. That's going to save you a lot of trouble in the long run, trust me. And then these two are 15 stars. Now, there's various ways to get some of these, but once again, I'll have to make a separate video talking about it. This one you can get from Sage Crest. This one you can get from the Armada shop. That same metal shop that I went to, but it's gonna be like the first option or something. Once again, separate video going into details, but this is what you can focus on, or try to focus on, once you get the Grain Crystal and Fragments and some of these modules from Limited Quest. You can go for the Liberate, because once again, you get a Liberate unlock here from that from the Anniversary shop. And you'll see that those particular items I mentioned with the crafting stuff, they are needed for this over here. The only flip side to you trying to do this is that you need the novel weapon first, and then you would also need class cubes. I already made a video talking about how you can get class cubes, upper right corner or in the description. But when it comes to getting the novel, you got a couple ways. I will have to state this before I even go over to the metal shop. You will want to try to farm it from limited quests, and I might as well go over there to the counter and show you guys that when it comes to the records, novel weapons will drop. So if you go over here and you go to ultra hard, what quest is being run? Ooh, what is this? When you go over here, you can see that novel drops. So instead of going to the weapon badge shop and trading in like a bunch of metals so you can get the weapon to plus 35, spam limited quests and see if you can get it as a natural drop, because one, it might have a lot more slots so you can affix with, like with a higher number without you trying to upslot, because if you don't know much about upslotting and the pains of it, then I haven't played this video talking about it. It's not a fun one, but pushing it to an 8 slot is going to be a pain in the butt. But, I said but like twice. Back on topic, you want to get this as a natural drop because it can also be at a grind value of 35 right off the bat compared to a grind value of 30. You don't need multiple dupes, you can just grind it as it is. So try to farm for it. You might not get it. If not, then you can always resort to this option I'm going to talk about. I already mentioned it in my old video, or one of my old videos talking about it. I will have to make a separate video that will go further into details about this chick. But yeah, when you go over here, you click on the third option, you go to the Weapon Badge 2020 exchange. You can trade in your 2020 medals for these novels and a novel unit set. I am not doing that. But here's the problem once again. Max grind value is stuck at 30. So you're going to need 6 copies of this. You need to spend 1,200 medals to get like this sword, for example, from a grind value of 32-35. But yeah, that is it for this video, though. I just wanted to emphasize on what you can get and talk about these various rewards, why you would want to do them, and the 15 stars you can try to aim for. Most of the 15 stars that I showed you guys are high up there, especially the Puros and Distill. Those are good. But if you haven't got to Liberate yet, those are options that you can go for as well. It's not like it'd be the Puros and Still, but they are still good. You would want to have a decent 15 star. You can go for Lightstream and Austere or the Atlas EX. However, Liberate and Still, Puros, and the 15 stars from that metal, that Divine Metal thing, they're up there. So, but ultimately, it's how you play. It depends on the weapon potential. It depends on various factors. But you know, you do you. If you want to go for those weapons, go ahead and do so. I ain't stopping you. Thank you guys for watching. If you got any question, comment, concerns, leave it down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.